I'm Young Buzz. Welcome back to the channel where we talk all things K-pop, idols, and the stories that make them unforgettable. Today, we're diving deep into the world of 17's visual giant, Mingyu. And when I say giant, I mean it literally. He's the tallest member of the group, standing at 187 centimeters or about 6'2". But of course, Mingyu is so much more than just height and visuals. He's multi-talented, full of surprises, and honestly, one of the most fascinating members to learn about. So let's start with the basics. Mingyu's real name is Kim Mingyu, born on April 6, 1997, in Anyangsi, Gyeonggi-do, South Korea. He's an Aries, which already says a lot about him. Aries are known for being confident, energetic, and natural leaders. And if you know Mingyu, you'll definitely see those traits in him. But what makes Mingyu special is that he's not just this cool, confident idol on stage. He's also goofy, optimistic, and someone who genuinely cares about the people around him. Mingyu was cast by Pledis back in his second year of middle school and trained for 4 years before debuting with 17 in 2015. 4 years is a long time to train, but looking at him now, you can really see how that time shaped his skills. He's part of the hip-hop unit, but honestly, he's also kind of the group's unofficial handyman, chef, and sometimes even interior designer. I'll get to that later, but trust me, it's one of the things that makes him stand out. Now, what's really fun about Mingyu is how the members see him. He was voted as the most handsome member, which, let's be real, is not hard to believe. I mean, Mingyu has been consistently ranked on TC Candler's Most Handsome Faces list, 49th in 2017, 32nd in 2018, and 24th in 2019. That's an insane climb. But here's the twist. The members also voted him as the member whose looks and personality don't match. And I find that so interesting because while his visuals give off this cool, charismatic guy vibe, his actual personality is super bright, fun, and kind of clumsy sometimes. Honestly, that makes him even more lovable because it's such a contrast. And here's another fun fact. Mingyu has a ton of nicknames. Mr. Wristband, Technician, Mingyu Shop, and even Kimsi Ajusi. They might sound random, but they all come from different quirks about him. For example, he loves fixing things around the dorm. He's the guy who changes light bulbs, repairs things when they break, and even redesigns the interior when he's bored. Imagine having a K-pop idol who can also double as your handyman. That's Mingyu for you. But he's not just about fixing things. Mingyu is also an amazing cook. He's the member who can whip up meals for the others. And apparently, he's really good at it. S-Coos even joked during one fine day that they'd survive anywhere as long as they had Mingyu, because he can fish, cook, and even build a house. Like, this man is literally the survival kit of 17. And it makes me wonder, if you were stranded on an island with one 17 member, who would you pick? Because I feel like Mingyu would be the obvious choice. Let me know in the comments if you agree, or if you choose someone else and why. Another cool side to Mingyu is his athleticism. He's been playing soccer since primary school, and even placed second in a national championship with his team. In middle school, he played as a forward, which tells you he's always been competitive and active. He also loves basketball, so sports have clearly been a big part of his life. And here's the kicker. He used to play bass in a high school band, so not only can he rap, cook, and fix things, he can also play instruments. This guy is basically a walking variety show of talents. But even with all these skills, Mingyu is still very relatable. He's actually left-handed, which fans love pointing out, and he's also known as the eating machine of 17. He eats the most in the group, and he especially loves meat and spicy foods. Between pork belly and pig feet, he'll always choose pig feet, which is pretty unique. And if you've seen him eat, you know he enjoys his food with zero hesitation. I feel like every group has that one member who's always eating, and for 17, it's definitely Mingyu. And speaking of personality, he describes himself as an optimistic guy who likes to find happiness in the present moment. He doesn't dwell too much on past happiness, which I think is such a refreshing mindset. Instead, he focuses on meaningful experiences, like eating with friends, watching movies, or just going out and enjoying life. Honestly, I feel like we could all learn something from that. In today's world, it's so easy to get stuck in nostalgia or worry about the future. But Mingyu reminds us to appreciate the now. But here's the thing that fascinates me the most. Mingyu is often seen as this visual powerhouse, ranked as one of the most handsome idols in the world, but his members describe him as brighter and more cheerful than anyone else. He's always smiling, laughing, and bringing energy into the room. That duality, cool on the outside, sunshine on the inside, is what makes him so magnetic, and I think that's why fans feel such a strong pull toward him. It's also worth mentioning that Mingyu is super close with the 97-liner squad: Bam Bam, Yugyeom, Jungkook, The 8, DK, Jaehyun, and Eunwoo. Can you imagine that group chat? The visuals alone are overwhelming. But what I love is that it shows how connected he is in the industry and how those friendships keep him grounded. Now, earlier I mentioned that Mingyu is kind of like the handyman of 17's dorm. And honestly, that just blows my mind. Because let's be real, most idols have their managers or staff fix things for them. But Mingyu? Nope. He's out here changing light bulbs, fixing broken stuff, and even redesigning the dorm interior when he's bored. Like, excuse me? That's not just a member of 17, that's 17's very own repair service, interior designer, and handyman, rolled into one tall, handsome package. And speaking of tall, we can't ignore the fact that Mingyu is the tallest member of 17 at 187 centimeters. That's 6'2" for those of you who think in feet and inches. Imagine being in the same room as him. You'd have to tilt your head up just to make eye contact. And yet, despite his model-like height and visuals, his members say his personality is actually more like a bright younger brother. That's such a contrast, right? On stage, he looks so cool and charismatic, but behind the scenes, he's playful, smiley, and even loud. Honestly, that duality is what makes fans love him even more. Now, let's get into something a bit fun: Mingyu's eating habits. If you didn't know, he's famous among the members as the one who eats the most. Like, seriously, he's called the shikshin, or eating machine of the group. And considering how active 17's choreography is, maybe he really needs all that energy. But it also shows another side of him. He's not the type to hold back or pretend. He enjoys food, he eats well, and that makes him so relatable. Who else here would love to have a meal with Mingyu? Imagine sitting across from him while he's happily eating pig feet, which, by the way, he prefers over pork belly. That's such a specific choice, and I love it. Another thing that fascinates me is how multi-talented Mingyu really is. Soccer player in school, bassist in a high school band, barista before debut, and now an idol who can act, cook, and even model. Like, is there anything this man can't do? And get this, 17's leader S. Coops once said that if they were stranded somewhere, they'd have no problem surviving as long as Mingyu was there. Why? Because he knows how to fish, cook, and even build a house. So yeah, Mingyu isn't just boyfriend material, he's survival partner material. If there's ever a zombie apocalypse, I know who I'd want on my team. And here's something really heartwarming. Mingyu is known for being optimistic and always trying to find happiness in the present moment. He's the kind of person who doesn't dwell too much on past happiness, but instead tries to make the most of the now. That's such an inspiring mindset, especially for fans who might be struggling. It's like he's not just entertaining people on stage, he's also teaching us how to live more positively. And honestly, isn't that one of the best things about idols? They don't just sing or dance, they share parts of themselves that fans can learn from. Now, let's not forget his friendships. Mingyu is part of the legendary 97-liner squad, which includes idols like BTS's Jungkook, GOT7's Bam Bam and Yugyeom, NCT's Jaehyun, Astro's Cha Eunwoo, and of course, 17's The 8 and DK. Talk about a visual powerhouse. Can you imagine the group chat? The amount of chaos, selfies, and maybe even roast sessions going on in there must be hilarious. And I wonder, who do you think sends the most messages in that chat? My bet is on Mingyu or Jungkook. And speaking of appearances, Mingyu isn't just known within the K-pop world. He's actually been recognized globally too. He ranked 49th on the Most Handsome Faces of 2017, then climbed higher in 2018 and 2019, reaching 24th. That's not a small achievement. It's literally international recognition of his visuals. But here's the thing. He doesn't just rely on his looks. He works hard, puts in effort, and constantly tries to grow as an artist and as a person. And that's what really sets him apart. So, what do I personally think about Mingyu? Honestly, I feel like he's one of those idols who proves that you can be the whole package without losing your humility. He's handsome, talented, athletic, funny, and caring. But at the same time, he's also the guy who vacuums the dorm, changes the light bulbs, and eats pig feet with a big smile. That balance between superstar and ordinary person is exactly why fans feel so connected to him. Now, I want to hear from you guys. What's your favorite Mingyu fact? Do you love handyman Mingyu, soccer player Mingyu, eating machine Mingyu, or visual Mingyu the most? And if you could spend one day with him, what would you want to do? Cook together, play soccer, or maybe just have a big meal? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I'd love to read your takes. And that brings us to the end of today's video. Mingyu isn't just a member of 17. He's a reminder that being multi-talented doesn't mean losing your down-to-earth side. Whether he's on stage, shining like the precious gemstone his name represents, or offstage fixing a light bulb in the dorm, he continues to inspire fans around the world. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Mingyu's life and facts, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss more content like this. And of course, join the discussion in the comments. I'll be checking them out and maybe even replying to some. This has been Anyong Buzz, and as always, thank you for watching. Until next time, stay positive and keep buzzing with love for K-pop.